Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 83rd edition of LM's Weekly Wrap, our weekly program for the market related developments. This was a very eventful week for the market because we had the union budget, the Federal Reserve commentary, we had the monthly auto sales numbers, the updates on the economy, etc. I think no disappointment to say the least. I think this budget at best can be described as a statement of a good intent from the government. Government keeping up its tempo with the focus on infra spending, and I think the highlight of this budget was the thrust on infrastructure development, the continuous focus on infrastructure development. As we have already pointed out earlier, last 4 years the government has pumped in 26 trillion rupees into the Indian economy. So this is as high as 26 lakh crores, and this time around the allocation has been increased to 11 trillion rupees. So I think this is no stopping as far as the infrastructure companies are concerned. So we'll discuss that a little later. But the path of fiscal consolidation also has been retained by the government, despite the fact that this is an election year. The government has maintained the path of fiscal prudence. So I think all in all, the positive developments for the market. We've seen today a huge rally in the markets. Markets are cheering, of course, for the budget, and also some element of short covering would be there in the markets. So I think just to brief you about more on the market related developments, I have with me Jash. Jash, welcome to the show. Kindly take us ahead, and then I'll take over for the sector related developments.
Thank you so much, sir. I think the data points that you provided for the budget and the markets and global scenario, I think it is very heartwarming, for the least to say. When we met last week, we were seeing some kind of consolidation in the market. We've been seeing about 700, 800 points Nifty going up and down. But today we go to see, today the Nifty is about close to 22,000, and as sir very rightly said, that we have not seen any disappointment in this week. Coming to the US, the Fed Reserve statement, they are retaining the interest rates, but they are going to consider cuts very soon. One of the European nations was the first one to start cutting the interest rates from the increasing one. Of course, China has been doing it, but that's a different story altogether. But even the European nation who was battling inflation, they started interest rate cut. So I think that is something that gives us direction that the world is moving towards interest rate cuts now. The inflation is getting under control, and then as the world has expected that they wanted a soft landing, they are getting a soft landing. So I think there are a lot of green shoots over there. Coming to the budget, I think budget capex, infra capex is very high, and something that our company's favorite is the railway and defense theme. If we go to see, it's a very small point that the government made during the budget. They are going to start three specific lines of railway, which is going to increase the railway capacity to a new high, and that is what we've been pointing out since the last 1-2 years, that we've been loving railways, and it has been our pet theme. Budget is pretty much in line. We have been very positive. Coming to the Indian market, as I want to point out on the debt scenario over here now. It's little bit off topic, but it's very important when we come to the basics. We are seeing yields at about 8%, close to 8%, and we are expecting some kind of interest rate cuts in the coming few months. So once that happens, you start getting capital gains. So if you have extra money right now, which you maybe booked profit in the market, you should definitely park something over there, because that might get you a good kind of return in the coming few months, and you diversify yourself from equity as well. So I think that is a very good strategy that you can have in place, and that's about it for my market overall news. I'm going to hand over to Nirav sir for the
Thank you.
sectoral allocation.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh. So yes, I think some interesting insights over there on a separate asset class altogether. Starting off with the auto sector, I think really very strong performances coming in as far as the auto sector is concerned. We had very stellar numbers from Maruti. The guidance which was provided by Maruti very strong. Yesterday, the January sales numbers at 1.99 lakh vehicles was really quite strong, and I think Maruti or a tick on all the counts. So I think Maruti has done quite well. Apart from this, we have Tata Motors, which surged quite well in trade during the week. And we had Mahindra and Mahindra, which had a reasonably decent performance. I think tractors have been pulled down because of the lower Rabi crop this time around. So tractors have been struggling. Passenger vehicles have been doing okay, and we have commercial vehicles which are also doing a fair bit of performance. But the star is clearly the two-wheelers. So I think the stock which was recommended by LM at 3,800 levels, Hero MotoCorp, is racing away. Yesterday I think they managed to cross 3,700 levels. So I'm sorry, it managed to cross 4,700 levels. Our target is 4,825 for the stock. So very stellar performance as far as Hero MotoCorp is concerned. Bajaj Auto, the company has decided to go in for a buyback to utilize this the excess cash on the balance sheet. So it continues to do well. TVS Motors continues to do well. So I think, and the smaller companies, of course, SML, Isuzu, Force Motors, they've done quite well as far as the auto sector is concerned. So auto is really shining bright. Second category is banks. I think in the banks, private sector banks continue to struggle, but I think the PSU banks are having their time under the sun. As we already said, three pet themes with the markets tend to like. One is the defense, railways, and the third is the power sector. And I think fourth category is likely to be added to this list, and that is PSU banks. I think the kind of fiscal consolidation and all there is likely to lead to a jump in the bond yields, and the bond portfolio which the PSU banks have been carrying is likely to give them a bumper bonanza. So I think PSU banks have been the flavor since the last couple of days. We are seeing very strong action in PSU banks. So I think this list is likely to get added to the likes of the market. Apart from this, I think with increased focus on infrastructure, capital goods will, needless to say, it will do well in the markets. We have infra stocks, we have EPC players, we have turnkey players. All of these players are likely to do well. Almost all these companies have very strong order books, but I think their order books are set to swell further going ahead into the market. Apart from this, I think FMCG sector did manage some relief as far as their performance was concerned. We saw in FMCG HUL disappointed on the results front, but I think after that we had reasonably decent performances coming in from Marico or Dabur, and to a certain extent Godrej Consumer Products also. So I think FMCG getting a fresh lease of life with all these results. Pharma, as we have already pointed out, continues to remain the dark horse in the market. We had strong performances from our LMF weekender stock idea, Cipla. But apart from that, we also seen now good momentum pick up in Sun Pharma, Lupin, and Dr. Reddy's on the back of good results. So I think this also continues to do quite well. IT is trying to make a comeback. The frontline IT stocks today have rallied quite well in trade, and I think the leader of the pack, that is the Reliance Industries, today making a new high. It has crossed record levels at 2,915, 2,916, making a intraday high of 2,949 in the markets. Now I think very ambitious plans ahead and family settlement. These are two important triggers to watch out for. Apart from that, the consumer facing businesses likely to get demerged and value unlocking likely to happen in the near term. So I think A lot of excitement as far as Reliance Industries is concerned. And of course, there are certain themes which have been playing out very well in the market. In our media interactions, we have pointed out certain techno-financial institutions which are likely to do very well. These stocks have been moving up in trade every day. These include the likes of Hudco. Hudco has been on a tear. Virtually, it's been on a tear. And we have IRIDA, which is doing quite well, IRFC, which is doing quite well, and Tourism Finance Corporation, which is doing quite well. I think hotel stocks have been doing quite well in trade. Tourism is going to be the new thrust of the government. A lot of things to discuss, but I think time constraints will permit no further. So I hand over to Jash for the closing comments. Jash.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very insightful as we have our result season going in full swing. Expect something similar next week. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you.